Hi viewers, welcome to New Age Leadership Talk Series and a warm welcome to all the viewers and big gratitude to each one of you. And as you know, this talk show was formed exactly to help and provide a lot of value to entrepreneurs and people who are going through unprecedented time. And I have promised that I'll be bringing guests and people from different domains who has been an expert from last so many years. And today we have one such guest. He is an amazing personality. He is creating happiness for lot of people, and the kind of businesses he is in, you will ladies will really love it. He is the person who is making all the women look queen. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, I'll invite the owner of Diva Pageant, KARL Mascarehnas. Welcome, KARL, to the Art Talk Show.
Thank you, Pawan. It's a real pleasure being on your show.
Yeah, so I'll be just reading about Mr. KARL. I'll be briefing about all the audience what exactly Mr. KARL do. So Mr. KARL has handled senior level position in marketing, business development, and public relations with some of India's top organizations such as Oberoi Group of Hotels, GTL Limited, Franklin Institute of Air Hostess Training, Indus International School, and Image Consulting Business Institute, which is popularly known as ICBI. And today he is a groomer par excellence, a revered motivator and mentor for men and women whom he inspires and guides to win at eminent competitive platform. His tagline is, his catchline, get groomed and command the room. So over to you, Mr. KARL Mascarehnas. So welcome to our talk show. And Mr. KARL, I'm very excited to host you on my talk show because I was very mesmerized by the kind of work what you're doing. I'm looking forward for the interaction. So, Mr. KARL, I want to know more about your life. How was your journey so far in life, Mr. KARL?
Let me just start, Pawan, with a poem. In fact, this was a poem. You know, we do several online sessions, and one of our mentees, Alpana, she shared this with me yesterday, and I just loved it. It goes like this: there is a voice inside of me that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. So this is about the voice that is within all of us, the voice that actually allows us to come out of where we are at, nurture and develop into people that we ideally want to become. You asked me about my past. I started my life in Bombay. I was born and raised in Bombay. I started my professional career with the Oberoi Group of Hotels, where I was with for a fair bit of time before moving to Global Telesystems Limited, which is now called GTL Limited. It developed into a 4,000 crore company. And in fact, I must thank GTL because that's where I met my wife way back in 1992 in New Delhi.
Wow.
And we got married and then moved to Pune, where I took up an offer with the Jog Software Solutions Limited as Associate Vice President. And then for a fair bit of time, I was with the Indus International School. Now, this is the international baccalaureate curriculum where we talked of holistic education and developing and creating leaders of tomorrow. And finally, I was with Image Consulting Business Institute as the Chief Marketing Officer. ICBI are the #1 people in the image consulting space. So this was just prior to my wife and me starting off with our own setup called Diva.
Okay. So it was fantastic hearing about you, Mr. KARL. So I want to know what inspired you to start this unique business, because this is something very phenomenal about like what exactly you have created. So what idea and what inspired you to do this?
See, always being in the professional world, you know, you are used to working with your head. And at some point in life, it's very, very important to also work with your heart. Now, typically what happens in the professional world where you have bosses and you have sales targets, you're invariably trying to meet and cross targets set by somebody else. Quite often, it's not your own target, but you're chasing something that somebody else has worked on. Now, in this kind of a business, this is purely what I term as a heart business. When
Yes.
you get into pageantry, your heart actually rules your head, because this is not a need business. You don't need to get into this. But what happens is, as you realize over the period of time, when you develop intrinsically, what you eventually become is far, far, far better than what you were. And this is the basic genesis with which my wife and me founded this outfit called Diva, where our catchline is Dare, Dream, Dazzle.
Wow. Dare, dream, and dazzle. So, viewers, this was all about Mr. KARL Mascarenas. Going further, can you share more about Diva Pageant to the audience? What exactly you all do? What is it exactly? So, if you can elaborate more on it, sir.
Yeah, so my wife and me founded Diva Pageants 5 years ago.
Yes.
And this is completely in the beauty pageant space. So there is virtually nobody in this space of pageant training. So
Okay.
effectively what we do, there are several small time players who basically do shows, but people who enter are not trained to the extent they should be. So
Okay.
typically what happens is, when we do a show, either pre or during the show, so ours is a 4-day setup, where you check in on a Thursday morning and you check out Monday morning. So it's 3 days of intensive grooming, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and your finale happens Sunday. Now, apart from ramp and makeup and your dressings and gowns and stuff, what we concentrate on is your holistic development. So effectively, you are developed into becoming the best you can be. And this is showcased at our own mega finale, which happens on the 4th day. We
Okay.
also have 3 flagship pageants: Mrs. Maharashtra, Mrs. West India, which is across the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Goa. And finally, our flagship event called Mrs. India.
Okay. So, sir, this is for married women. Since you have spoken about Mrs. India, Mrs. West India, and Mrs. India, so why
Yes.
exactly you have chosen this space over the traditional Miss India or any other pageantry?
See, there are 2 reasons. One
Yeah,
is because the lady of today
yeah,
doesn't really have a platform to express herself, if she's a housewife. And
yes,
even if she's a working professional, she gets into a scenario which is kind of routine. It's routine
okay,
based. So whether
okay,
you're in a bank or whether you're in a multinational, effectively
okay,
what you're doing is a repetitive job day after day after day.
okay,
What this gives you a chance to is to flower into your childhood, as it were. So I guess
absolutely,
every girl's dream is to be a queen. And
yes,
what we allow them is development to the extent that they can pursue this dream and actually realize it. So many of them, when they come to us, they have never ever walked the ramp before. Once they are with Diva Pageants, they've realized that this is a fantastic medium for them to express themselves in the most forthright and positive manner.
fantastic, sir. Sir, I want to know, Mr. Karl, that what does it take to become a pageant? Like, what is the mindset, or is there any prerequisite to be a part of this contest?
Okay, so contrary to popular belief, you
Yeah.
don't have to be a stunning beauty. Many
Okay.
many ladies that we meet today are very shy about the fact that they've put on weight, or they don't look the optimum, or there's a height which kind of dissuades them from entering a pageant. So in our pageant, we don't have any height and weight criteria.
Okay.
Anybody and everybody is encouraged to join. What
Okay.
they must, however, have is pizzazz. What they must have is they want to get ahead and become better than what they were. So, like I said, there's no height and weight criteria. We also have ages from 20 to 34, which is what we call the silver category. And then we have 35 to 50, yeah, which is the
Okay.
gold category. Now, in the last 2 years, there have been such stunning ladies that we have had to extend the 50 to firstly 55. And just recently, we have a beauty called Anjulika, who is
Okay.
59 years old, but she said,
Wow.
why are you limiting me from joining? And
Okay.
she's pretty stunning. So we said, okay, we'll raise the limit to 60. So we are
Okay.
fortunate to have her in our pageant also.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Kal, what kind of opportunities do people come across after winning the pageant, after becoming the winner? So, is there any opportunity? Because if people want to really join or be a part of, or they must be getting encouraged by your talk. So, what kind of benefits or what kind of opportunities do they come across? Sir? Like,
See, the first is becoming a queen.
yeah.
What that allows you to do is become way, 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 way positive and more confident than the person you
Hmm.
are. Number two, when you become a queen, there are a lot of people that want to have a piece of you. So
Hmm.
a lot of them get modeling offers, a lot of them get film offers, a lot of them
Okay.
are asked to come and cut ribbons when a boutique or a new restaurant opens. So there are
Hmm.
several opportunities that are given or that they
Hmm.
get. But
Hmm.
you know, Pawan, the most important fallout is
Hmm.
that they flower into people who
Hmm.
now society respects. So, like
Yes.
I told you, these are not people who only concentrate on beauty.
Hmm.
These is I mean, the old cliche is beauty with brains. But
Hmm.
here, these are people that have developed to a far, far greater extent, and uh, have become beacons for society.
Yes. And they also must be role model for a lot of people who, like, if at all a lady gets, if she's the winner, so a lot of people may be seeing and they want to be like her exactly. So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. Just imagine in your society or my society, if you have a
yeah,
lady who's a queen, she becomes a
huh,
major celebrity. And
yeah,
I'll tell you, for a lot of these ladies, it's
huh,
virtually like becoming a queen and taking residence in Buckingham Palace, because the transformation they've undergone has
yeah.
elevated them for life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is a popular saying which says that what you get is not important. What you become in the process is very important. So you get
Absolutely.
transformed. So you get
Yes.
transformed in that process. So that is very important, actually, mentally,
It is. It is.
psychologically, and
It is.
also
It is. It is literally the journey and not the destination.
absolutely, absolutely. So fantastic. So I want to know, Mr. Karl, that you're working from last 4.5 years. So how many queens y'all have created so far in 4.5 years?
Oh, this is fascinating because we have got now in excess of 450 queens
That's
that
amazing.
that
Yeah.
are
Right.
there both nationally and internationally. And a
Okay.
lot of our queens in Doha, Qatar, and in Muscat, Oman, have gone on to become major models.
Okay.
So it's a matter of great pride for both my wife and me that it's gone way beyond a Mrs. India, and it's
Hmm.
truly become a Mrs. International. I won't say a
Wow.
Mrs. World, but it's a Mrs. International for sure. And these are people that are showcasing the best of what they've learned
Hmm.
with us, and now give us a chance to flower outside the shores of India.
Yeah. So, Carl. After listening to you, one question strikes like to me is, uh, hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, yeah. So one question strikes me is that exactly is how is the lifestyle post becoming the pageant? Like out of 450 queen. So how is the lifestyle post that? How is the transformation and what exactly people are doing right now so that people they know exactly. Since you have answered much of the thing, they get assignments. But what happens with the majority of the people? Like what is their way
I'll
of
tell
being?
you.
Like
I'll tell you a little story.
yeah.
It's called the Chinese bamboo tree.
Yes.
So in the Far East, the Chinese have a bamboo tree. The seed is planted in the ground, and after watering and fertilizing it for a while, it takes 5 years for that seed to rise above the surface.
Okay.
When it does, in a matter of 5 weeks, that tree grows to 90 feet tall. Now the question really is this: Does the bamboo tree grow 90 feet tall in 5 years or in 5 weeks? Well, the answer is fairly obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years because at any point in time, if you stopped watering and fertilizing that seed, it would die in the ground. The ladies who come to us are developed by my wife, me, and our team at Diva in less than 5 days. So the question is this: what happens when you water a seed? What happens when you water a plant? It grows, it flowers, and it germinates. And that is exactly what happens to every one of the queens who've been with us. They grow, they flower in their respective fields, and in many cases, their husbands are pretty surprised as to who they become. So they say, well, you look vaguely the same, but I can't recognize you now. I mean, you've grown way beyond, what I imagined. So that is the biggest joy for us.
So exactly, I mean, so it's a great thing you're doing for their husband, exactly, because that is what a husband wants to see their wife as. Like, if the journey is so very crucial, because post getting married, so women are like working professionals. So also one thing strikes to me is, Karl, what kind of beauty pageants from which sector? Are there only housewife or working professionals, or doctors or chartered accountants or corporate executives? What kind of audience you all cater?
There are actually several professions from various spheres who join us. In fact, we have such a proliferation of doctors now that we are seriously running a pageant only for doctors. I mean, you'll be amazed. We've got doctors from
Wow.
all disciplines. Yeah, I mean, it's quite amazing, Pawan, because we've got doctors from every discipline who are with us, and we are seriously concerned, looking at doing a pageant exclusively for them. What happens is the patients, and in many cases, when you're a working professional, you're completely re-looked at in your organization. You see, you become a kind of a star overnight, and that can only work in your favor. So what we do is, when we're talking about holistic development, we are we are literally talking about reinventing the person you were.
Yeah. So perfectly, Mr. Karl. So I just have so we are through with our formal questions. So now we will be doing your rapid fire session. In that, we will be
Okay.
exactly knowing exactly. You have to answer in only one word, Mr. Karl. You have to answer the question into one word.
Sure,
So that,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. So, Mr. Karl, your mantra for joy and happiness in any relationship?
Is maturity. When you're mature, you can, you can succeed, or you can further any relationship well. And there's an oft repeated question, which is, what is maturity? So the line is, growing older is mandatory.
Uh,
Growing
uh,
up is optional. So maturity
Absolutely.
doesn't come with age. It comes from a deep rooted thing inside, where you want to get better than you are.
Your mantra for fitness, because in your industry, fitness is very important. So, what is your mantra for fitness?
My mantra for fitness is positivity. When you're
Wow.
positive, you see, everybody has this misconception that a guy with six pack
Hmm.
is fit.
Hmm.
But as we realized tragically recently from a star, it is actually your mental makeup that
Hmm.
decides how fit you are. So effectively, it is not just the way you are in terms of your outward beauty and your external physique, but what you have developed into in terms of your mind. Very few people, Pavan, very few people actually concentrate on the mind. And this is where true fitness lies. My question is this: do you wake up in the morning with a smile? And if you don't, how do you deem yourself fit? You're unfit. You're grossly unfit. If you don't wake up with a smile and you don't radiate positivity, you're grossly unfit.
Very true. Very true. So, and your mantra for gratitude?
The attitude of gratitude. if you have a positive outlook on life, there will always be an attitude of gratitude. I mean, I today when I conduct sessions with people, a lot of them tell me, "Sir, thank you very much," and I reciprocate it by saying, "I have learned equally from you than perhaps you have gained from me," because it's a two-way street. If you don't ask a proper question, I can't give you a proper answer. And very early on in life, I realized this, that there are no stupid questions. There are only stupid answers.
Wow. Your mantra for growth, as people say, growth is life. So your mantra for growth.
Living positively, and with a smile is my mantra. And I
One.
place a lot of
So
a
one
lot of
word. One
emphasis.
word. One
Oh,
word. Sir, one word.
one word. I would say command, because I've got this catchline also which says, "Get groomed and command the room." So it would
Okay.
be
Come.
command in every respect. If you command your life, you're able to command other people's lives.
Since you have to scale up in life, you have to grow. So that it requires leadership. So your mantra for leadership.
The most important um, essence for any leader is vision. If you
Okay.
see, if you like the saying goes, if you actually work and you love what you do, you don't work. Your vision pulls you. So effectively, when you have a vision and you're a forward thinker, and you can engage a group of people to share your vision, that is growth.
Wow. So, Mr. Kal, what drives you, you and your wife, what drives you to keep going?
Uh, the quest for perfection, the quest to become better as individuals, and most importantly, the quest to help people further their own lives. This is a driving force for both my wife Anjana and me, because we actually try to celebrate life, we try to further people's lives, and we try to assist them in every which way to become the best they can be. There is a thing which I want to share, Pawan,
Yeah.
which normally I do at the end. But when you're asked, what is your mantra, or what is the vision that you want to share with people,
Hmm.
I say this: everybody reads the news. Very few people make the news.
Wow.
Don't you tomorrow want to be front page news?
Yes. Absolutely. Everyone, everyone wants to be that. Like, I mean, want to be a front page news, or they have to create that front page.
Yes.
Perfectly. And Mr. Kal, I want to know, this entire year was very unprecedented for certain category of people, especially events and all that genre of people. And how you and your organization has, like, they have encountered this entire last 6 months. Like, so how did you manage
I
to
will,
roll out your?
I
Yeah.
will tell you this, Pawan, that for the initial 1 month, we were all in a state of flux. We didn't know where both we and the world were headed. So there was that initial 1 month of trepidation. Subsequently, we started online classes, and I
Okay.
must share this, that we have met with such amount of success,
Hmm.
and we have had such a wonderful variety of ladies join us, that it has mushroomed, beyond what we envisaged. There are two reasons for this. A, the lockdown ensures that you can't do much else. So you have to do a session with us or without us, but you have to do a session from your home or from your office. Number one. Number two, if you are gleaned in positivity, then what happens is you try your level best to improve on the person that you were yesterday. So what this entails is for people to become way better and way more positive than they started out. Now we do these sessions with people, we have had such a fabulous amount of success, and seeing them grow into ladies that that society would be proud of, I think is our greatest joy. So so online sessions have been the big gain for us in terms of the lockdown.
Wow. So that was all about Mr. Karl Mascarenas, and you have answered all your answer to the T. I was really very amazed with the clarity of vision what you have, the clarity of conversation what you have, and I could see all your students or all your mentees have been a part of this show, and they are really telling that you're such an amazing speaker, coach, mentor, and human being, sir. And that is
Thank you
what
very much.
yeah. So that is what
No,
real respect for.
incidentally,
That's the
each of my mentees is a wonderful human being too. So, ladies, a big shout to all of you for me.
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
share something which
yeah.
is a book which I read many years ago. It's
Okay,
called A Stranger in the Mirror.
okay.
And the little snippet at the start of the book says this: if you would seek to find yourself, look not into a mirror, for there is but a shadow there, a stranger. Now, these are the opening lines of the masterpiece by Sidney Sheldon called A Stranger in the Mirror, which talks to us of a young Toby Temple, a guy who's a comedian, and he wants to make it very big in the comic world. So it's something like a Johnny Lever or a Russell Peters. So this guy does his round of talk shows. He does a small couple of, one night things at bars and restaurants. And one day he's offered a film. By then he has become what you call like a junior star. So people know him. He's not really famous, but he's relatively reasonably well known. He does the film, wakes up the morning after the release, and sees a crowd of reporters outside his house, outside his balcony. He realizes then, with a shock, that he's no longer a star. He's just become a superstar. Stardom is what we all seek. And a lot of us run away from it. But what we at Diva do is we encourage the star in you to sparkle. So this is the message that I want to share with people who are watching, that should you want to literally dream all that you can dare, because daring to dream is the tip of the iceberg. What transpires therein is the chance to dazzle. And whether you're young or whether you are ancient, every individual on earth wishes to shine at life. So you don't need a stage, but what you must do is shine in life. And unless you get mentored and unless you get opportunity, somewhere down the line, when these two mix, that is the only way that you can actually allow your dreams to fructify.
So, thank you so much, Mr. Karl, and it was amazing hosting you because you were very few people I come across wherein people you have such a great fan following. I mean, I could see your all the mentees are just following you up. And normally, what happens is once in today's time, after learning from the mentor, nobody follows up and catches up on a thing, but the kind of person you are after interacting with you makes a lot of sense. So all the gentlemen who are watching this show, make sure that you connect with Mr. Karl Mascarenas and also do like his page. So his company name is Diva Pageant, and his name is Karl Mascarenas. And also I will be leaving the his entire detail in the comment box. So people do like his page, do subscribe his YouTube, and also all the people who are watching do like my YouTube channel and also this Facebook page 10x Pawan, and also you can get a lot of valuable content. And next week we are going to interview a budding actress, and she is an awesome person, Leslie Tripathi. She is an amazing human being, and she is going to add a lot of value to people. And Mr. Karl, yeah, any lasting comments you want to share with the
Yes,
audience?
the program we circulated, the talk show we circulated amongst the both of us was called "Always Wear Your Invisible Crown,"
Yes.
and this stems from this masterpiece of a line, which is
Ah.
especially true during the lockdown. It says, "Whether life gives you a smile or a frown,
Hmm.
always wear your invisible crown."
Wow.
So I'd like to leave
Wow.
you and everybody watching with this thought.
Thank you so much, Mr. Karl. Thank you so much, and thank you and big gratitude to all the viewers who were there for
Yes.
last 31 minutes. And it was absolutely pleasure to be hosting Mr. Karl. And thank you, viewers. You mean a lot to us, and
Thank
we
you.
will come with another episode. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pawan. Thank you. Pleasure being on your show.